What's going on, guys? So I feel that most people who watch my channel are pretty good with hand tools. And this tool that you're looking at in front of you is probably a very, very common tool that most people have upgraded to in their garage. And that is a ratcheting wrench. Now, these things are super cool because they essentially give you a ratchet function down here and an open end wrench on the other side. And they come in so handy. Again, I think anybody who wrenches on anything probably has already upgraded to a set of ratcheting wrenches. And they're just one of those things that you want to keep in your toolbox and you want to have near you. I keep a set in my truck, I keep a set in the RV, I keep a set in both trucks actually, because they come in so handy. And that ratcheting motion was probably the single biggest evolutionary change to the wrench. And when they did that, I think that they definitely made a tool that was great even better. That said, there's an evolutionary change now to this. Let's take a look at it. Hang tight, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're continuing on our series of products that you may have never even known existed. And these are going to include products that are great to give as gifts as well. So in front of you, you're looking at the Performance Tools Flex Head wrench set. I have them both in SAE as well as metric, but check this out. So again, we have the ratcheting wrench right here, which is super cool, but there are times that they're difficult to work with, like any wrench, because it's only going to work in an area where you can actually fit this. So if you're trying to work around a tight spot, or if you're trying to get into a tight area, this may not be the right tool for you. Or you may have to try to finagle a socket in there, or you might just have to try to make this work in a way that it's not intended to. So the next evolution of the wrench is now the flex head wrench. Check this out. So the end of it can actually flex over, which means if you have to get into a tight spot, let's say an area behind something that you just can't get the wrench, this is really a great tool. Let me give you an example of how that might actually come into play. Let's say behind here I have a bolt that's sticking out and it's being blocked by something. Well, I won't be able to get a wrench to fit in there. This happens all the time if you're working on vehicles, if you're working on your mowers, if you're working on your RV. Something is obstructing where you need to get. Now, the fix to this oftentimes is just removing a bunch of stuff so you just have nothing in the way anymore. But sometimes that just doesn't work out, and you still are going to have something obstructing where you need to get. The benefit of something like this is if I needed to get into this tight space on a bolt that's sticking out, again, I might be able to fit a socket in there, but this certainly isn't going to wrench on something that is sticking out into this tight space. Whereas I can fit this in here, get it around the actual bolt, and I can probably get it moving. Now, if I can get more leverage on it by giving me a better angle, then I can, again, work it with this, whereas I probably won't be able to do much with this, and I'll have to come up with an alternative solution. Now, again, tools are great because there's usually some type of a tool that will fit just about any need. And whether it's a socket that you can fit back there, or whether it's something like this that you can get into that space and work in a really tight area, you know, tools are just one of those things that it's always better to have a tool in case you need it rather than not have a tool when you do need it. And this is just a really great solution. You know, it works really well. It's the ratcheting wrench that we've all come to know and love, which is really nice. It's actually relatively lightweight. So this one right here, which does not have the flex head to it, actually weighs more than this one. And what's really nice about these is that they actually come with a lifetime warranty. They're through my channel sponsor, etrailer.com. So there's a lot of products that people buy that are super popular from eTrailer, but a lot of people may not even know exist. So eTrailer and my channel are collaborating together to try to showcase some of these products to you. They can make really great gifts, or they may just make really great upgrades to products you may already have, or even in addition to products you may have. For instance, I'm never going to get rid of these wrenches just because I get these wrenches. These wrenches will be in addition to my set of ratcheting wrenches because I never throw tools away and I never give tools away. These are things that you never want to say, oh wow, I have these now, let me replace these. Instead, I may need a duplicate tool of the same size, and it's nice to have two of them versus one of them. So anytime I get something like this, it's an addition to my tools. It's not going to replace my tools. It is an upgrade, and it's going to be the tool I reach for first. But what's nice again about them is that flex head gives me that flexibility I need to use this tool in areas that this may not work, a socket may not work, and I can go to one tool which can act as a standard wrench, it can act as a ratcheting wrench, it can act as an open head wrench, and it can also act as a flex wrench if I need that in a tight spot. So that is really cool. So, what do you get in a package? You get 7 tools per package, whether it's metric or SAE, and they come in sizes 10mm, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 18mm, which are very common sizes. And in SAE, they come in 3/8, 7/16, ½ inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, and 3/4 inch. So they come in the most common sizes you're typically going to use. Now, are there some sizes that they don't come in? Yes, and that's again where having a larger wrench set perhaps of these might be important as well. Now, it also comes with these little cases, and the cases are designed to be able to hold the tools all together. They simply snap in. They have a little cover that covers them whenever you're toting them around, but they have a really nice kind of positive locking system right here, so they're not just going to fall out unless you really jostle them hard. But it makes it really convenient to store the tools and to carry them around if you need to. And this one sits flat like that. But very cool. And you know, at about $65 to $75 for a kit, not very expensive, makes a great gift. And if your spouse is into tools, if you're into tools and you don't have this, this is definitely one of those things that you may have not known existed until now, and it is a really great gift idea as well as a great expansion idea to your existing tool set. Anyways guys, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. I'll throw links in the description if this is something you may be interested in. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.